Hello and good day. I'll do something a bit different today. I'm not going to do a face off. I'd rather something special to me. I've never shaved with one of these before. See that? It's an old Filarmonica. Special para Barbas, Duros, which I believe is basically meant for tough beards. I wouldn't say I got so much of a tough beard. I've got 5 days growth. Been lazy. Not so much lazy, it's just been busy. But this is definitely the most growth I've had. Definitely over about a year anyway, let's put it that way. She's come to me in okay condition. There's barely a mark on it. It's about 24.5mm. The etching on the face, especially the lower part of it, is practically gone. You can still see the harp and the Filarmonica, and if you're somebody that knows what you're looking at, you know it's missing its rubber thing. But stuff like that don't bother me. I only care about steel and grind and shape. I don't really care about etchings and stuff like that. The old little harp there is quite in a good shape as well. It's a tiny bit loose, look. Tiny bit loose. Goes to about there. About there. Bit willy-nilly. It's not really a mark on it. No rust on it really. There was a few blemishes on the blade face, but they've all just come out with a tiny bit of auto sole and a bit of cotton bud. So I'm over the moon. People moan about the scales and that, and yeah, they're a bit flimsy, they're a bit thin I guess for the size of it. Could probably do with a little bit more weight maybe. It's maybe a bit toe heavy because of the scales. But these are in good condition, these scales. You've got the little divot for the old rubber, the rubber tang bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and make a rubber tang for it out of that mouldable putty glue thing, whatever it's called. I forget the brand name now. Sugru. Since somebody's done it, so I'll give that a whirl. Without further ado, let's get doing. Like, these must have back in the day, like they must have been quite special even back in the day, because even the packaging, look, I know this is like pretty tatty and you know, but you can tell, man, like this has been like, woo! Got the old 14 there, very important that 14 it seems. I haven't had time to translate it, but I'll sit down later and give it a bit of an old translate, just see what it exactly does. I can tell it's going on about how good it is and how brilliant and perfection, and your experience will probably be exquisite. The best fabrications in all the worlds. If there was one thing that Josie was good at, or Joss, it looks like branding and self-promotion. Imagine what it'd been like in today's world. God, he'd been all over the socials, wouldn't he? But I can't wait. The nearest thing I've ever shaved to this is a Hengel's 17, which is a marvellous razor with marvellous steel. I love it. And I believe that's got more of a belly on it than this one, so I'm going to have to somehow prize a Hengel's 14 from somebody's grasp at some point. I've gone from 1,000 on the stones all the way up to 12,000 Shaptons. You could see that it had been not stropped to death, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's just been sharpened from factory, honed by whoever, and then to my eye it looks like it's just been stropped because it had a really rounded bevel, shiny as anything. I'll tell you what, one thing I do know, it was tiny, like the bevel, absolutely tiny. I think the next smallest one I've ever seen is one of my CVs. We had a shower. especially for this occasion. It is a bit of an occasion. Been after a filly for a long time now. Where I live, they're not, I wouldn't say they're rare, because they're not really rare, but they are certainly not everywhere. And to find one with barely any rust, with most of its length, because really they're meant, it's basically, it's lost about a mil. But, I don't know, if you're going to find one full whip now, you're talking sort of 250, 300 tops. And that's not even for a good condition one, really. That's just a normal double temple one as well. These tough beard ones do charge a bit of a premium, and I have no idea what is the difference. Some people say it's the grind, some people say the metal's been slightly treated. So you imagine it's probably been hardened if they were going to go down the route, but I think the double temple was such a good razor in itself. Double tempered and everything. Why do you need to improve it, really? So, yes, give it a whirl, as they say. All my angles are a bit out. Right. I can see why people like them. Let's put it that way. I've got to weigh them butchers for Barbas use. Waiting in the wings. So when I get the scales on that, they're all pinged up, we can give it a whirl as well. Well, while I'm in possession of it, this is probably the toughest beard it's ever going to face, because I don't plan on growing that much again. Well, you know, you read about the fillies and you think, it's just hype. There's always a bit of hype, I think. The old vintage razors. Got the angle quite wrong then. It's sort of mini slipped out my finger. That's why one should always stay very present in the moment when using a straight razor, because in that microsecond I could have just done myself a little nick, and instead I didn't. One little weeper, one of the smallest little weepers I've ever had. I could walk away and say I've had a pleasant shave out of that. Oh, that's definitely the most amount of hair I've had in the sink for one day. I wouldn't mind getting one of them, what they call carats. Probably saying that a bit wrong, but little custom. And he does like a, well, I'm not going to say a Philly rip-off because it's totally not, for one they've been gone a long time. But let's say a Philly style razor that you can configure, and everybody says they are the bollocks like. So one day, treat myself to my birthday or something. But there is definitely something about shoulderless and stabilizerless razors without the stabilizers. They definitely suit my skin and my undulations, because I think they just flex a little bit more. I've got quite a bumpy face. Yeah, it just glides, man. That's what I mean. They definitely do glide. Definitely feels like you're more able to do longer strokes. Must say, it must have been pretty cool going to the barber shop and some Spanish dude coming at you with one of these. Always find it funny when you get the old debates online about whether they're German made or Spanish made. I'm of the opinion they're probably Spanish, man. I think it's really naive to think that Spain wouldn't be able to make bloody razors. They was at war with half the world for so long, they must have been good at making bloody swords and knives. It's no different. The skills must have lived on in some areas. What I do find weird is just nobody really knows. But I have read some articles of, you know, blokes that used to live near the area that was so called where these were made, and the area was known, you know, for making blades and whatnot. because I would certainly say it's not what you would call a classic German grind. There is a belly, but it's ever so slight compared to, like, you know, some of the German grinds, bellies. Not that it proves anything, by the way. So, like with my Swedish razors, you can definitely tell it's the metal that's kind of special, if for want of a word. But you can tell that this is clearly a combination of good steel, but it's just definitely the grind and the shape, the lack of a stabiliser, the lack of a what you call a, well, it ain't got a shoulder on this one at all. Whether somebody's modded that a tiny bit, but well, it's got the tiniest of one side. Well, I can say without doubt that's one of the closest shaves I've had from a non-Swedish steel razor in a long time. It is genuinely smooth. Instantly try and get a bit of nourishment back. So I always get a bit here that remains a bit rough, but even that's seemingly smoother. Amazing, amazing, love it. If anybody wants to tell me what rough year this could possibly be, I'd love to know, because I think I'm going to keep this one. It's my first filly. She's in good nick. She's got a good length. If I got one that was a true 5.54 or whatever, I don't think I'd want to bloody use it, because you're instantly taking some of the width away, kind of thing. Lovely. Right, I'm going to lovely and leave you. It's a lovely shave. The old fillies. It's not all white, that is for sure. There definitely is some white, because like I said, you can go and buy one of them Korat, and I do apologise for saying that wrong, but you can go and get a custom, you know, for less than the same price if you don't use the configurator thing than a Minter filly, you know. So, but I don't know, it's not the same. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I think old things, it's like almost like they hold something in your heart a little bit more. I don't know, you know, fuck it, I don't know. But anyway, it's my little opinion. And I wouldn't have to be with a standard Korat anyway. I'd have to be configured, and they go into loads of money then. Right, I'll see you later. Have a good day.